Hello everyone, I'm Jason Jensen and you're watching Jensen Trains. This is my first YouTube video, so please bear with me. Things will get better. Better cameras, better lighting, sound. Things will be improving. So I just wanted to start by getting some videos out there for all of you. In today's episode, we will be applying paper signs created in the computer onto the sides of brick buildings. So next to me you'll see an example of what we'll be working on. So let's get to it. So I found this image on the internet. I drug it onto my desktop and resized it. And as you can see, I made it a few different sizes and put them all on one sheet to print it out. This is the size that we're going to be using right here. So I cut that out. And then started to sand the back of it using a 240 grit sandpaper. And I've already been working on this for a while, so it's pretty well sanded. I'll hold it up, maybe you can see how thin. So I've gotten it pretty thin. Now what we're going to do is we are going to cut the shape out. It's best to use a very sharp brand new blade. A dull blade will just tear the paper because it's so thin. This can be done with any sign or image that you find on the internet. Just drag it onto your desktop and then print. I use Photoshop to resize it. Okay, that part's done. Just takes a little patience. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rough up the edges just a little bit. Again, just take your time, go around the edges. Not a lot. Just to rough it up a little bit. Again, I'm using 240 grit sandpaper on this. Once it's on the building, I'll show you, we will add some texture with paint and pastel chalks. So, here's the finished piece. You can see it's quite thin. This is the wall that we're going to be putting it on. Just like that. So I'm going to use a lid. It's just for a Folgers coffee lid. And we've got some water. And white Elmer's glue. So I don't have an exact measurement for this. Just, it's almost half and half, I guess. Looks like it's a little more water than it is glue. Okay. So now we just brush it on. You'll notice I laid down a piece of cardboard first because the glue kind of gets everywhere. So. Okay. Now you kind of get one shot at this, so you just have to kind of take your time and place it where you want it. Just make sure it's all pressed down so you get a nice clean fit. Now we're going to speed up the drying process here a little bit. Next, we will add some brick texture to it using burnt sienna and a sponge. And this will just give it the appearance that some of the sign is worn off and the brick is coming through. So we'll dab the sponge into the paint. Take a lot of the paint off. So you can do as little or as much as you like, depending on how worn you want it to look. Be sure to rotate your sponge so that it's not all leaving the same type of print on it. This makes it more random. Next, we will use some pastel chalks. There's a brick color and then a lighter sort of rust color. And we'll use a light gray. This is best applied with a, I don't know if you can see that, it's a very short-haired brush. And we'll just streak this down, always going one direction. So you can see I'm just lightly scrubbing the brush over the pastel chalk. And streaking it down. This is a really light gray. And just makes it look like the maybe the white on the sign is running down, streaking. So there you can see, and like I said, you can do as little or as much as you want depending on how worn you want it to look. Let's try a little brown. We'll just do a darker brown, maybe towards the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to put on some shadows. And again, I don't know if you guys got a good view of it, but hopefully you can see that. It's a pretty short-haired brush. seems to work the best. And we're just going to add shadows underneath the window sills and streak it down a little bit. We'll add a little bit of variety over the wall, just using the rust color and a little brick color. I hope that video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And like I said, this is my first video. Things will get better. I will be showing you all of the techniques that I've covered on my Facebook page at Jensen Trains. So please follow along. Hope you click the like button and click subscribe. Till next time, happy modeling.